I don't recall exactly what you're referring to.
Oh no, I'm just trying. It just rung my bell just now. That's all.
It's but I do remember hearing somewhere that it was basically Vince McMahon being petty, upset with Adrian Adonis for. Oh, I know why. It's because he gained a lot of weight. Vince McMahon didn't like the fact he gained a lot of weight, so he made him the ambiguous character as adorable Adrian Adonis as punishment. Which Adrian Adonis ran with. Either way, this match was a hair versus hair match.
Piper's retirement match too.
Okay, I don't remember hearing Piper's retirement, but I believe it could be to be
true. It turned into his retirement match. It was known fact that he was probably the last time they're going to see him. That's what. Also, they made a reference about that after the match too.
I don't recall it, but not to say it wasn't there. But it basically was Piper winning, and Adonis got his haircut. And what this played into is the haircutting was done by Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and this is when he started getting his barber gimmick with his name. But either way, and Adrian Adonis was managed by Jimmy Hart. This is when WWE was manager happy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes, this is where you had the managers.
Yeah, so you had.
They'll continue too.
You had the Hart. What was Jimmy Hart's called? Was it the Hart family? No, Heenan was the Heenan family.
The Hart Foundation. And,
no.
Was that something? What are you talking about? Then?
The Hart Foundation was Brett and Jim.
Yeah, I know that, but Jimmy Hart was part of that too.
But Jimmy Hart had a name for his group that for everyone with him.
I don't remember at the top of my head right now. Honestly, I really don't. He managed a bunch of people, man. It's like he would have one match and then you come right back out.
Right. For this purpose, we'll just call it the Hart Huckleberries. So Adrian Adonis was part of the Hart Huckleberries. And he
sounds kind of country.
I'm thinking of Tombstone, the movie Tombstone. I'll be a Huckleberry. The whole thing. Adrian Adonis lost, got his head shaved, done by Brutus Beefcake. He now became Brutus the Barber Beefcake. What did you rate this match?
Well, anything that Piper touches, and don't to get weird, thing that he does, how about that? It turns usually into gold. I mean, everything Piper's cool. I like Piper. I've always been a fan of Piper, heel and babyface, but always was more a fan of the babyface. I was always a fan of the babyfaces. I give it a 6.3, man. His intensity, his charisma, everything about him, man, was just off the charts. I always loved watching Piper. Man, that dude was just crazy intense. He's a badass. He's a rebel, man. You want some, come get some, bring it. That's just the way he always was. And of course, he also had his funny side too, which is part of his crazy character. It just is just awesome. I can't say enough about Piper, and for my sake, God rest his soul. He's passed away some time ago, but always was amazing. So, but yeah, I gave 6.3.
I actually gave it 6.5, but again, it has a lot more to do with the fact that I don't do partial like that. I usually do half or above, but also to take into the fact that this led into Brutus getting his character changed a little bit to Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yeah.
So playing into that a little bit. The next match ended up being Danny Davis and the Hart Foundation, and they're going to be part of Hart's Huckleberries because Jimmy Hart came with them. Jimmy and Brett were not related, right?
No.
Okay. Just making sure. Against Tito Santana and the British Bulldogs, which were Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid. This is one of the only times I could think of that WWE references the fact that Davey Boy Smith wasn't the British Bulldog, or part of the British Bulldogs. But, you have that there. And one of the things that I don't think people give enough respect to is the fact that Dynamite Kid was pretty much the inspiration behind so many people that came about in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Like your Dean Malenkos, like your Chris Benoit's, people like that. But, he was here, and he was one of the small high flyer guys that drew more attention and made things possible for people like them.
Back at least going in the late 90s, early 2000s. Let's say late 90s. A lot of people that I grew up with that were around my age, a little older, that just got into wrestling in the last few years of that time frame. They didn't even realize that Davey Boy Smith was, part of the British Bulldogs tag team. He's like, oh, he's always been just this one character. It's like, no, he's with, Dynamite Kid, and he was a big inspiration. Of course, Bulldog went on his own. Davey Boy Smith went on his own, but a lot of people at that time frame, I'm sure even more to this day, a lot of people were not even aware of that. At least the younger audience, especially.
I'll be honest, I wasn't. I'll be honest, I wasn't until recently.
He was.
Let's say last 10 years.
Last 10 years, yeah. It's they made a good splash, and as a tag team. All things come to an end eventually. But it was good for British Bolt, Davey Boy Smith, and for him, and they made a good tag team. But a lot of people forgot about that good tag team. But this match was pretty good. I give it a 5.7. By the way, there was a certain someone's debut. You mentioned Danny Davis. He made his wrestling debut. He was a referee.
Mm-hmm. Right. One of the things I was going to add, too, because you're talking about the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith, he was just inducted in the Hall of Fame. I don't remember if he was the 2020 class or the 2021 class, but his son did accept the honor with a British Bulldog, with a Bulldog with him.
Really? I wasn't aware he was a part of the class. I really didn't.
Yeah. Huh. You can find it on no promo here. You can find it on Peacock. I actually watched it the whole way through. I will say, of the groups that I watched, I really, really liked William Shatner's speech.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they only gave them 5 minutes for the speech. Is that true?
It was very quick.
I heard they had like 15 minutes originally or something, and then they bumped them down to 5. Each person 5 minutes. Like that's kind of tough to have 5 minutes after a long career. But
I believe the Hall of Fame was about 4 hours long.
For classes combined.
Yeah, the 2020, 2021 Hall of Fame was total of about 4 hours.
Even for 5 minutes, it's still far.
Well, they had clips to play and things like that.
I think it's kind of still weird. Anyways, okay. Well,
and it's one of those where you remember. Sorry, I make a reference to this. You remember when you and I discussed the NWO and the fact that I didn't think X-Pac should be included in the NWO one because it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
They cited a lot of the reasons why he was included was because a lot of what they did as their branding was his idea.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. The whole Too Sweet, Wolfpack, the finger thing. I guess that was all X-Pac. Okay. But Eric Bischoff did get in on his own. I just thought he should have been part of the NWO class as well.
Yeah, there was an influence there. I know a lot of people are more mindful in this one. Yes, the NWO. There's some people that are very more technical about it. The influence behind NWO was not actually Bischoff. It started New Japan, but he solved that, and it was an influence. But of course, a lot of people get influenced by different things in wrestling. It's like music, or movies or whatnot. But it's just that's where he had the idea to, hey, let's do this. He's doing so well in Japan. And, I agree. I think Bischoff should have been part of the NWO Hall of Fame, but he went on his own. So maybe, I don't know, it is what it is. But yeah, maybe should have been inducted with the NWO, and maybe next few years or whatnot, he could get inducted as only himself. But
he did.
You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm saying. First get inducted with the NWO, and then, somewhere down the line get inducted as himself, just as solo.
Eric Bischoff got inducted by himself.
I know. Okay, but not that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean like he should have done both?
Well, yes, both.
NWO, then
first NWO, and then somewhere down the line get him by only himself. That's what I'm saying.
I misunderstood you.
Oh, that's fine. Anyways, that's how I looked at but that's what they decided not to include him in NWO, and that is what it is. But
and to go back to the match, I did give that a 5.5. I just want to add in that.
Oh, that's fine. We got off the subject. It's all good. 5.7 I gave it. Next match is Coco Beware. And I like that character so much. Where's Butch Reed?
Butch Reed with Slick. Now, what is it that you liked about Coco Beware?
His persona, the charisma, just the character, just something cool. Fun. You know, if you look at it, especially I just got drawn to it, and I watched some old tapes and a little bit, live TV at a young age. You see it as a kid, you think it, not every kid, but a lot of kids saw it as fun, something cool. You got a guy with a bird on his shoulder, he's dancing, he's just being cool, fun. He had that charisma as well as involved in that. It just kind of was just entertaining to me. So plus the name Coco Beware, it's a cool name. So that's why I was trying to draw to him.
I was just curious because Coco Beware was before my era in terms of me watching it.
Yeah.
But I always thought him coming out with a pair was kind of cool. Yeah. To me, I don't know enough about the character to really give much of an opinion on the character itself. I did like him in this match, even though he lost via a quick roll-up.
Yeah.
But he definitely seemed like one of those characters that I could see in the 80s flourishing.
Yeah.
Would you end up giving this one? Because it kind of was, I don't want to call it a squash, but it was a quick match.
I get a 5.5.
Okay.
Coco, his run with WWF ended in a bad way, though, man. It's just, he got in competition with an executive, and Vince fired them both. And it was like, I wish it didn't end that way. I wish it would have ended a little more to better terms, or he would have had more time with WWF. But unfortunately, it just didn't go as long as it should have, and it ended in a bad way, unfortunately. But he still wrestled around a little bit. But it was an unfortunate situation back years ago, and but he was a good character, man. Really fun.
What? Okay, so do you know what happened? Why you got in the altercation?
I don't know. I don't know really the details. I just know there's a confrontation with some executive, and that's all I know. Couldn't tell you anything about it.
Okay, I was just curious because I don't know anything about that.
I found out about it, 97, 98, on that movie Beyond the Mat.
Right.
That's how I originally found out about it, because I was like, I was a kid, like, whatever happened? What's going on? I didn't know, But yeah, eventually it was, that told the story.
I really liked Beyond the Mat. I gotta rewatch that.
I think Coco actually was. It's been a long time since I watched that movie. I think Coco explained a little bit on that movie, but as far as a lot of details, I'm sure you could find the reason on YouTube somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But it was unfortunate. I was like, man, that kind of sucks. But
I mean, yeah, you never know.
Yeah, I don't know at all. But anyways, yeah.
One of the highlights was this match coming up.
Oh yeah. When you think about WrestleMania 3, think about Hogan and Andre, the Slam, but you also think about the Intercontinental title match between Ricky Steamboat versus Randy Savage. Macho Man. Savage. This is good. Sorry, I had to say it.
It's fine. Ricky Steamboat had George the Animal Steel, and Randy Savage had Miss Elizabeth in his corner. Now, do you remember, with watching this, the commentary with the little jabs they kind of threw at Miss Elizabeth?
A little bit. I really don't remember a lot of talking. Even I've watched this match a number of times, and honestly, my focus, I never barely paid attention to commentary on this one. I really did. It's because I was so drawn with this match. It's But go ahead.
I think it's Jesse. It wouldn't make sense for Monsoon to say it. But there's a couple times where Jesse is just like, she doesn't even know where she's at anymore.
That's true. There's something I watched this match. Or something I wanted to include on this episode here, talking about this. back